I know y'all have been watching the news. It's been a lot of stuff going on. And on today's video for This Week in AmeriKKa episode 4, we're going to talk about the Jasmine Crockett Senate race where she got defeated. We'll talk about why. And then we're going to dive into Trump's war on Iran and talk about AIPAC, okay? AIPAC. Let's get to it. Now, Latinx voters showcase their political power in Texas. The black vote in Texas officially just gotten weaker. Jasmine Crockett here, Talarico, however you say his name. There, he wins, okay? Some people are criticizing Jasmine Crockett because of this. Representative Jasmine Felicia Crockett tripped to Tel Aviv, Israel on October 5th of 2023. So she's basically an AIPAC Democrat. I don't like that, okay? 25,000. This was a trip where she attended meetings with elected election officials of Israel while also visiting historical and holy sites of the country. She basically bowed down to Netanyahu and the Zionist religious zealots, okay? But also, a lot of people don't know, the Dem darling showered with Miriam Edelson linked money. A group funded by Edelson was the biggest donor to James Talarico's campaign last year. So he beat Crockett, but he also seems to be a pro-AIPAC Zionist funded person as well. Let's dive in deeper. Talarico received a total of $59,000 from the Texas Sands PAC through donations in February and December of 2024. And this makes the group both his biggest donor last year and one of his largest since he ran for the state legislature in 2018. Okay. He took Mary Edelson's money. And this is the same lady that gave Trump $250 million. Essentially, these people, Crockett, Talarico, are both friendly to Israel. They saying he took this money because of the casino situation where it'll bring a lot more jobs or gambling and whatnot. Whatever your reason is, okay? Whatever your reason. You could have voted on that without taking the money. That's neither here nor there. Jasmine Crockett also AIPAC. Now let's talk about the Latinos. So how Latino voters helped Talarico win in Texas, okay? So there was some redistricting that happened. Jasmine Crockett's team and herself, she knew about it 3 to 6 months ago, where they moved different voting places. Like, so if you're used to going to a library as a Democrat and you wanted to vote there like you've been doing the last 20 years, it moved, let's say, 2 miles away, okay? But they should have been prepared for that. And there was also some scrutiny on Crockett about the way she ran her campaign. And we know Talarico was also on Jubilee at some point recently, and that gave him a big visible boost. And he's also of the cloth, as in like a pastor type person. And Latino Hispanics love that, okay? And a lot of them are right-wing anyway. So East Texas areas with more black voters went to Crockett. Counties with Hispanic voters went to Talarico. And more whites went to Talarico as well. He fixed their complexion a little better. So here we are, Talarico, 20% of the vote share was Latinos, 60%, 45 counties. So he got 60% of Latinos. Black voters, 60% went to Crockett, and then 54 of the white voters, which was the majority, went to Talarico. So that's what happened, y'all. She's done. She's going to be out the Senate, at the House, rather, and Talarico's in. We'll see what he does. Now, let's get to this Trump-Israeli war, okay? Trump says Iranian Kurdish attack on Iran would be wonderful, but will he help? So essentially, rumor is that CIA, with Trump and them approval, they want to send money and weapons to the Kurds, right? Which is an ethnic group out there. And they pretty much got effed over by America in some Syria type situation some years ago. They're in Iraq, they're in Syria, they're all around those areas. There's millions of them. So they want to use another group to basically attack Iran. That's crazy to me. Trump says he wants to be involved in picking Iran's next leader. There is a clip where he said he bombed accidentally or whatever, because he bombed so good he killed the leader that he wanted. So he basically wanted to pull a Venezuela. He wants to get into Cuba. He just basically want to be the dictator of these countries while being the American president. Now, there was an opportunity in the Senate for Congress or the House of Representatives to stop Trump's powers of this war. So if 4 Democrats who voted no would have voted yes, Trump would have needed congressional approval. And guess what they have in common? These are all AIPAC funded people, okay? So in a 212 to 219 vote, the House Representatives rejected the measure requiring the president to seek congressional approval for more military action against Iran. No votes here, yes votes here. So obviously we know Thomas Massie voted no. Essentially, AIPAC has dominated our House of Representatives, our Congress, our Senate. Now, have y'all heard about this? This is sad. A school full of young girls, students, girls, was bombed by the United States. They killed 165 children, okay? This map shown by U.S. Secretary of Defense or Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, indicates the school was listed as a target. The attack was deliberate. Remember, this is a part of the game plan for Israel. Part of the game plan for the United States is to kill people's kids. One more side note on AIPAC. Cenk Uygur of TYT says 94% of Congress bought and paid for by Israel. And I could definitely verify that as well. Now, I want to show y'all something about propaganda, something that y'all need to think about. Okay, so here it is. This is a great breakdown. It says at least 153 dead after reported strike on school, Iran says. So what this means, strike, a lightning strike, unclear, neutral wording, no attacker identified. Iran says, framed as an accusation. Here it says 9 dead in missile attack on Israel as Iran strikes region. Culprit clearly identified. Attack, not a retaliation, framed as a fact, not an accusation. So the difference here is we don't know what kind of strike, just a strike happened. Iran is saying that. They're just accusing somebody. This one here, and this is by the BBC, the UK people. This one here says Iran striked Israel with a missile attack. But we know Iran is actually defending itself. Same thing, war in Europe. Russia invades Ukraine. Israeli troops cross in too. You got to be careful with these words and the way that they are framing these situations in the media. These people who control TikTok, the app I'm on, and I be using YouTube, they are using propaganda to the highest level, tricknology to get in your mind. They want you to believe that this is for the greater good. Here's one more. President Trump says Cuba is going to fall too. They need help. We are talking to Cuba. Why are we trying to rebuild every other country in the world except our own? They're going to attack Cuba. They already did attack in Ecuador. They're going to frame it just like Nigeria, that they're helping people. Do not be tricked, y'all. This week in America, number 4. Tap in.